There it is. Welcome. And first up is Laura Magsis.
Welcome, everyone. I am very excited that we have so many endorsed candidates here with us this morning. My name is Laura Magsis. I use she, her pronouns, and I am a member of the New Hampshire Sierra Club's executive committee and also political committee. Now I want to ask everyone to please mute yourselves. And I'm going to ask also that candidates write their name in the chat if they have not already done so, and include the following information. Put an S after your name if you do want to speak today, and put an NS if you prefer not to speak today. If you are running for a position in the House of Representatives, put your county and district number under your name, and all candidates, please put the seat for which they're running under their name. Now I'll give you a brief preview of the agenda. After I finish speaking in a couple of minutes, Kathy Corkery, our chapter director, will talk about what's at stake in the upcoming elections. She will be followed by Jim Allmendinger, the chief of our political committee, and he will talk about the endorsement process, among other things. Karen Irwin will follow him with an introduction to legislative priorities, and she will introduce endorsed candidates. Meanwhile, Karen Campbell will be helping us stay on track in terms of time so we can finish at the assigned time. Now to you, Kathy Corkery. I pass the microphone to you.
Excellent. Thank you, Laura. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Kathy Corkery. I'm the chapter director of the New Hampshire chapter, and I use she, her pronouns. The chapter office is in Concord, just down the street from the Capitol building. And today I will be helping with the technical side of the presentation. If you have issues, again, message me, and I will hopefully resolve any technical problems you have. And I will also have my phone with me, and I'll provide my cell number. I hope everyone is feeling healthy and inspired in the next 2 weeks, plus 1 day before Election Day. I too welcome you hardworking candidates. We have identified you as the best hope to reposition the Granite State onto the clean energy pathway with clean air and safe drinking water, a path that will lead us with democratic engagement and clean energy access for all residents, a path of healing with truth, not ignorance, a path that leads with values for justice and equitable access without redlining or gerrymandering, inclusion, not bigotry. Governor Sununu is moving us in the wrong direction by all of these accounts, by vetoing net metering, by giving a green light to higher taxes and higher energy bills, by gerrymandering your districts. That is not going to work for us. Thank you to all of you for showing up and knocking on all of those doors. I know there are a lot, but we really appreciate you. And we are excited to announce your endorsement today and your victories on November 9th. Keep up the good trouble and the door knocking. And I will pass the mic to Jim Almendinger, our political committee chair. Jim.
Thank you, Kathy. And thank you for doing such a good job of articulating the priorities for the Sierra Club as we go into this 2022 midterm election cycle. The club expends a great deal of effort in reviewing its endorsement process. As you know, we have questionnaires that are fairly detailed. We review the questionnaires, but we're also familiar with the backgrounds and the voting records of those who have submitted the questionnaires. And we meet to carefully go over all of the questionnaires and make decisions about who we think will be the best. We call them environmental champions. We take a great deal of pride in the process. It's one that we've been working on hard for many years. The advantage to the endorsement is, in one part, small. You get to use the seal of the Sierra Club on your political documents. It's an important seal. It's been a seal that's been around for over 100 years. And it reflects the 3.8 million Sierra Club members nationally, as well as the large numbers of volunteers and members here in New Hampshire. We engage actively in campaigning, mailing to our members, getting our members out on the street, doing door knocking, phone banking, attending political functions. The internal organizing is probably the most important because we want to make sure that all of our members and supporters get to the ballot box with the information they need to make intelligent votes on the environment. So I will end at that point simply to say that it's been a privilege in the past working with you who have held office before, and it is a privilege working with you going forward. It is something that means much to us and is very important. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Karen Irwin, who will discuss the legislative priorities in this cycle. Thank you all.
Good morning. Thank you for coming again, our environmental and endorsed champions and endorsed candidates. I have the distinct pleasure to introduce the legislative priorities and the endorsed candidates today as we continue with this meeting and the chapter priorities. And we have a lot of work to do. I go by she, her pronouns, and I'm on the executive committee as well as on the political committee. We've asked the candidates to speak for a minute, after which Karen Campbell will be timing us so we stay on track, and you'll have a 10-second wrap up in that if you go over time. So we'd like you to talk about your number one environmental priority as well in that presentation. So for us, Sierra Club legislative priorities are clean water protection. A bill example is regarding landfill siting regulations, equitable and just transition to sustainable energy. A bill example is funding for access to clean energy for all households and clean energy. A bill example is expanding net metering. We're going to go in order. We are going to jump around so that the gubernatorial candidate, Thomas Sherman, can speak with us, and he should be coming in around 10:20. But until then, we're going to start with the Senate candidates. And Cindy, if you could start us off. You have a couple minutes. Cindy Warmington?
Executive Council candidates.
Yes, Executive Council candidates.
Good morning. Thank you, Sierra Club, for both your endorsement and for hosting this event today. I'm Cindy Warmington, and I'm the Executive Counselor for District 2. I'm running for re-election. Most of you know that for the last year, I've been the only Democrat on the Executive Council, really standing up and holding governor and council accountable. My primary priority as it relates to the Sierra Club is climate change and clean energy. And the way that it really intersects with the Executive Council is appointments to the Public Utilities Commission, appointments to the Department of Energy, and approving many, many contracts, many of which are really starting to focus on climate change resilience. I've coordinated closely with Catherine Corkery throughout my term and would expect to continue to do that as we move into the future. I have worked very hard to recruit candidates in other districts to make sure that we are not alone, that I am not the only Democrat on the Executive Council. I'm proud to say Sierra Club has endorsed them all. 2 of them are on this call today, and you'll get a chance to hear from them. I want to just thank everybody for your support, and I am honored to be endorsed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Executive Counselor Warmington. Dana Hillard, you speak next.
Absolutely. Good morning, everyone. And I will stick to that minute, although someone is going to have to put an anchor on me. It is so great seeing so many good friends this morning. And thank you, Sierra Club, for your endorsement. I look forward to joining Cindy, as the other Democratic candidates do, to, not just have her be the voice of reason on the Executive Council anymore. For the last 9 years, I have served as the Hilltopper mayor, the city of Somersworth. We are known for moving forward with our sustainable and conservation practices. And I look forward to bringing those practices onto the Executive Council with Cindy, of ensuring that candidates that are up for nomination, one, go by the science of actually embracing the fact that our earth has changed, and that we need to institute policies to slow this down, to continue to keep this planet livable, not only for ourselves, but the future generations. New Hampshire makes its money off of the environment. We attract tourism here. And if we do not continue to move down the road of sustainable and conservation practices, then our economy itself is within danger. Let it not only our economy, but all of the inhabitants of New Hampshire as well. So we need to bring those practices that the Sierra Club embraces onto the Executive Council, and to ensure that the votes that the Executive Council is making is for not only the best interest of our environment, but the best interest of our future generations of New Hampshire citizens, so that all of us can continue to embrace and love the state that we hold so dearly in our heart. So thank you, Sierra Club. I look forward to carrying your banner on the Executive Council, joining Cindy as the other Executive Council candidates do, and us finally flipping this Executive Council towards meaningful progressive practices.
Thank you very much.
I was within the minute. Yay, I get a gold sticker today.
Catherine Harecki.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I could just say ditto, but I think I have to say more. So I actually represent District 3, which I believe has some real jewels of our state. That includes Great Bay and the Seacoast. So for me, what definitely we have in common, actually, I want what my constituents want. We care very much about our public lands, our natural resources. We also really do care about our energy future. And together with the Sierra Club's same values, I think that we can, really work in step to, use that language of climate change, of efficiencies, of renewables, of public lands, and protecting the future, protecting our lands with the constituents, in Concord, praising when good work is done locally, keeping them engaged, so that when we do have what we do want to accomplish, we really accomplish from no pun intended, grassroots up, because that's really how we're going to get to really make the changes that we need. So that's going to be my goal as the next Executive Council in District 3. And thank you for listening. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you to our executive counselors that are in attendance today and environmental champions. Shoshana Kelly was not able to be with us today, but she is another endorsed executive counselor. So I'm going to move on to the Senate, and we'll get started with Edith Tucker.
Yes, I'm Edith Tucker. I'm running for the state Senate in District 1. My top priority for the last several years has been the landfill siting bill in the North Country. And it's very much in District 1. And I think more and more people around the state are seeing that this is a statewide issue. And a tremendous amount of work was done in the House. Almost 80% of the House members passed the veto. Unfortunately, it foundered in the Senate and it did not pass. So we have work to do in this next period of time to make sure that the Senate understands its importance and that the House continues to. I think we'll see that this same thoughts are used in protecting industrial sites and in well sites. So we'll spread the word over a larger and larger space and in greater depth.
Thank you very much. Bill Marsh.
Good morning. I'm Bill Marsh, running for Senate District 3. My priorities, as I'm mostly in the Lakes region, are clean water. We support Senator, hopefully soon to be Senator Tucker and her landfill bill, and also want to protect the Ossipee Aquifer. I'm very happy to be endorsed and glad to join you this morning.
Thank you very much. Suzanne Prentice.
Good morning, and thank you for having me here. I'm currently serving as the state senator of District 5 and honored to have the Sierra Club endorsement again as I'm running for re-election. I want to just back up Edith Tucker and what others have said about the landfill bill 1454. I was in support of that, and even the year before when we called it Save Our State Parks, I was not part of the Senate group that actually defeated or was unable to move that forward, but part of the Senate group, or I was part of the Senate group that worked to move this forward in a positive way. So I'm disappointed on where we are and will be behind this again for clean water. One of a priority of mine has been, it was last session and will be again this session, is updating our climate action plan in New Hampshire, which has not been updated since 2009. So some of the emissions reductions goals are outdated. And I think the real priority here is that we put this, like other states around us, in statute. So Edith, I'll be continuing to support this work, but I want to focus in on getting a climate action plan in statute. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Richard Loban. I'm not sure.
That's the correct pronunciation. Well, I'm running for Senate District 7, the gerrymandered district, which includes Lakes region on the west side of 93 and the Hill Country in the south part of this very huge district, which is 60% of the size of Rhode Island. That's how we used to measure icebergs and forest fires. And to be very, first, I'm so grateful for this endorsement. And just in that area of environment, some neighbors and my wife and I have put 170 acres into conservation trust. We could not be more serious supporters. I have a 6E program. First of all, environment. Secondly, equality for choice for ladies and for everybody. Education, I'm a veteran educator, 60 years of teaching, and I have to rush off to my class at 11:30, so I won't be able to stay. Clearly, sustainable energy, another E, energy. Economics, increase the wages and get more housing, because the reason we're exporting young people and importing food is because our whole economy is fouled up and the educational system does not support jobs that can sustain people. I'm also for the E of empathy, because we got such polarization. It's really a tragedy, and only the enemies of America are benefiting from the polarization. The one E I'm against is extremism, because extremism is doing us no good. Domestic enemies, foreign enemies. So we got to put our country together. I'm struggling to be a centrist Democrat and get pretty close to the old order Republicans before it was hijacked by libertarians and Trump, who and Bolduc, who's just
We-
dropped his PAC support.
Sorry
so
to
he's
interrupt you, but we do
finished.
have to, can you wrap up?
I just did. I
Okay,
finished.
thank you so much, very much. Thank you for being in attendance. Becky Whitley.
Good morning, everyone. It's so good to see all these fellow environmental and climate champions. My name is Becky Whitley. I'm the sitting state senator for District 15. This work is very close to my heart. I worked for many years with the club as part of the climate action campaign. And my role in that was organizing parents to build power to move our elected officials to support action on climate. So I'm so honored by this endorsement. You know, we all know we live in a state of incredible beauty, which I think is integral to both our economy and our health. But we've fallen behind our fellow New England states when it comes to preserving our environment and taking meaningful action. So I really look forward to working with the club on clean and renewable energy solutions, zero waste policies, increasing renewable energy and efficiency programs in New Hampshire, and of course, as my friend Senator Prentice said, setting targets for cutting dangerous carbon pollution. And I really feel, as a mom and a native Granite Stater, these are all so critical to ensure that our children and grandchildren inherit a clean and healthy planet. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Rebecca Perkins. I'm not sure she's here. Okay, looks like not. Wayne Hubner.
Good morning, everyone. Yeah, thanks for having us. Honored to be here. Thanks for the endorsement. My name is Wayne Hobner. I'm the Democrat nominee for District 22, which is the open seat vacated by Chuck Morris. Top priority for me is really renewable energy and increasing our renewable energy portfolio and the net metering for New Hampshire. It's not something I just talk about. My husband and I have invested in 47 solar panels on our house maybe 4 years ago. So we're actually, living what we believe is important for everyone. So once again, thanks for having me. Cheers.
Thank you. Brenda Odak.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for your endorsement and especially for your work. The Sierra Club is such an important leader and vanguard in protecting our environment. I'm candidate for Senate District 23, and I'm a retired registered nurse, gardener, farmer, and outdoor enthusiast. Not only do I appreciate the beauty and the wonder of our natural environment, but I realize it's essential and integral to our human health. And I also believe in environmental justice and health justice. With a health and science background and appreciation for the natural resources as integral to public health, my number one legislative priority would be to protect the health of our fellow Granite Staters. And one of the biggest threats is the quality of our water safety. I work to support and improve legislation and measures to safeguard our water supply, including legislation for site reviews prior to building landfills, which has been mentioned several times today, in which my opponent voted along with Governor Sununu to overturn that valuable piece of legislation. I have a lot of other ideas regarding the environment that I would work to support, including the shift to renewable resources, the reduce of the use of plastic, the protection of our pollinators, and reduce the pesticide. And I think it's our role to lead and to inspire others to do the right thing for the environment. Thank you.
Thank you. Deborah Ash-Schiller.
Good morning. Thank you so much. I think the advantage of an endorsement from the Sierra Club is a membership in this group of people who prioritize clean water. That is a huge priority for me, particularly my district, because my district has the contamination of the Coakley landfill, which covers 92 acres over Greenland and Rye. But contamination is affecting the health and safety of citizens in Merrimack too, from St. Gobain. And the prospect of building landfills next to precious water sites is horrifying. So again, Edith, I am with you. I'm looking forward to working with all of you to catch New Hampshire up to the speed of our neighboring states. And I even hope that we can regroup enough to pull ahead. Thank you so much for this endorsement. Onward to victory.
Thank you. Is there any Senate candidates that I missed today?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, thank you.
Okay. Matt McLaughlin, I'm a state Senate candidate from District 9. I would also like to thank the Sierra Club for your endorsement. Couple of things I would support. My biggest thing would be clean energy. And the reason for that is not only does it clean the air, it's related to several other large issues in New Hampshire right now, which is the cost of electricity. So we need to get this state off of natural gas and fossil fuels and work, a good 10-year plan to get improved net metering and subsidies for solar power. I transitioned my house to solar power and geothermal heat in 2009, and the help from both the state and the federal governments were a big reason that allowed me to do it. So clean energy is also effective, would be important for global warming. And then again, I agree with many of the other issues that everyone else has spoken about, including the landfill siting issues. So again, thank you to the Sierra Club for your endorsement.
Thank you. Any other Senate candidates that I missed? Okay, we'll move on to the House.
We have our candidate, our climate champion and environmental champion for governor here. And it would be great if we could hear from him.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Welcome, Dr. Tom Sherman.
Thank you, Karen and Catherine and the Sierra Club for your confidence and your endorsement. We have worked together for virtually all of my terms in the House and the Senate. It has been an absolute honor to be endorsed by you. I think the work you're doing as stewards of our environment is virtually unparalleled. We have so many different areas that we need to be pursuing in the state, starting with clean energy. As you know, the current governor has vetoed nearly every effort or blocked nearly every effort, whether it's weatherization or efficiency, solar, wind, hydro, or offshore wind. These are all areas where we could be moving forward, embracing the technology, lifting the caps, and decreasing our dependence on fossil fuels and natural gas. But more than that, we have to be stewards of our land. We have to look at how we make sure that we are fully embracing good farming techniques in agriculture and working to make sure that those are that our farmers are fully supported as they try to implement good practices in farming, not only because they are wonderful stewards of our land, but also because they provide that statewide supply chain that we need so desperately, especially in the face of inflation. And finally, we have so much work to do on landfill siting, on clean drinking water. And many of you know I've been vice chair of the Drinking Water Groundwater Trust Fund. I've been working on the issue of PFAS contamination. All of this contributes to how we move forward as a state and as good stewards of the land we live on. So I am thrilled to have your endorsement. I'm thrilled to have your vote. And I see you as partners at the table to make sure that we implement this strategy across the board for the state of New Hampshire. And I'm really excited about working with the Sierra Club moving forward.
Thank you. Did you have any questions, Catherine, or anything?
No, that is a governor I want. That is a governor I want. Thank you,
Here.
Dr. Sherman. And
Thank
we
you.
hope to see you on the trail.
Yes, I hope so too. That'd be great.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
we appreciate all your work and the future work. So I hope we as a team collectively get to work together a lot on these types of legislation that we've been talking about. So I'm going to move on to the House. And we start with Patrick Wood. You're welcome to.
What I would like to say is I think we need to look at water quality on a statewide basis rather than on a municipality by municipality basis. In the country of Ireland, water is provided on a national basis. They have a water system that was established by the entire country. We could do something similar here in New Hampshire, like we did with the Winnipesaukee River Basin project to clean up the lakes. We can do the same with water systems. Instead of requiring or basically living on water systems that are town by town or city by city, make them a regional or statewide water system so that we protect all of our citizens and provide safe water. Just one way of dealing with a very important issue. So thank you all very much for the endorsement. It's wonderful. I'm excited to be a part of this group because we're working to save the country and our country, our land, for our children and our grandchildren. And thank you.
Thank you. Don House.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Don House. I'm running for state representative for the Belknap County District 8, and that includes Belmont, Sanborn, and Tilton. I'm honored and proud to have earned the endorsement of the Sierra Club. My environmental legislative priorities include clean water protection, clean energy, and waste recycling. I'm retired and enjoy many of the activities this region has to offer. I'm an avid skier and boater, and I want to preserve the quality of New Hampshire's environment for future generations. You can visit my website, donhouse.info, to learn more about my positions on other topics. If elected, I look forward to working with others on this session to advance environmental priorities. Thanks.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure, do we have Gabriel Watson? Okay.
That's Gabrielle.
Oh, Gabrielle, thank you.
She's in Carroll County. I don't think I saw Gabrielle actually.
Okay.
So we can continue on to Carroll County.
Yep, Paco Todd. Yeah, I had you here.
Okay. Good morning. I'm Pico Todd running.
Go Todd, thank you.
Yes, with Gabrielle Watson as my partner for House Carroll District 3. I'm an absolute first-time candidate, and I'm really honored to be endorsed by the Sierra Club. I've been a longtime supporter and a longtime environmentalist, and I'm really excited about the possibility of becoming elected and actually being able to do something. My primary focus is maintaining our water sources. In the summertime, I swim every day in Lake Chicorowa, which is one of my favorite places. I think the water is both a spiritual element here, a cause of, a great draw for tourists. I'm very concerned about gasoline stations and landfills being put next to these fragile resources. And I really want to make sure that they are highly regulated and, for example, that gas stations are not allowed to be put in porous soil so that contaminants can get into the aquifers before anything can be done to stop them. So anyway, like I said, I'm thrilled to be here, thrilled to be known as an environmentalist, and delighted to see so many people working for the same goal. Because if we don't protect our water and our beautiful environment, we really don't have anything else. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Lucy Weber.
Well, I'm still here, so I will speak. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for the endorsement. I really appreciate it. I won't repeat all the very, very important priorities that everybody's already talked about, but I am running to represent Walpole and Surrey on the Connecticut River, and very much concerned with the intersection. Here we have some of the finest agricultural soils in the nation, and we also have the Connecticut River. And so I am very interested in the issue of protecting and preserving the agricultural soils, protecting and preserving the waters of the river and the waters of the aquifer, and making responsible use of the agricultural soils so that we have them and food for now and for future generations. And thank you so much for the endorsement. It's a great honor.
Thank you.
And we have Anita Burrows here as well from Carroll County. Anita.
She wasn't going to speak.
Was she not speaking? Oh, my apologies. Then I also have candidate Rebecca Perkins Quokka on as well.
Great.
The current incumbent senator.
If she
Hi,
could
guys.
speak.
There she is. Okay.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. So sorry to miss my scheduled slot, but I was just on a work call, and we all have such passion for this work. We're fitting it in around all the other things in our lives as much as we can. So thank you so much for the endorsement. It means the world to me. I am a member of the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee, and through that work, I get to see Kathy pretty often, which is great. But I grew up hiking in the New Hampshire mountains and forests, and it's something I'm already teaching my girls to do. So I have to share with you all that my 3-year-old climbed Blue Job Mountain about 3 weeks ago, all by herself. So it's the proudest moment I've had so far as a mom. But no, thank you guys all for all the work you do. I'm honored to be part of this group, and hope to continue fighting alongside of you.
Thank you. Not sure I saw her. Carrie Spear. Okay. Sherry Dutsey.
Karen, I'm back. I finally figured out how to turn the mute off.
Thank you.
And I do computers for a living, or I used to. My approach is a little bit broader, I think. I have spent the last 25 years traveling all over the world, filming endangered large animals. We've lost 70% of the large animal species that have lived on the planet over the last couple of hundred years. That is a dire warning to the rest of us, because we are another large mammal. And I think that when we haven't been paying enough attention to the warning signs that we have about what's going to happen to the rest of us. We've populated ourselves until there's no more hardly any breathing room for anyone. Water is polluted, the air is polluted, and I am a very staunch believer in alternative energies like wind power, solar power, those kinds of things. And I'm hoping that if I get elected, and I hope I do get elected, that I get to work on the Energy Committee, because I have many, many years of engineering experience, and I'm hoping I can actually make a positive change to what's happening in our environment. To that effect, I really am very proud of being endorsed by the Sierra Club, and I thank you very much for this opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. Sherry Dutsey. Susan Vale.
And good morning. I'm Suzanne Vale, and I'm a Nashua Ward 3 state representative. I am so honored to be a recommended candidate by the Sierra Club, and I'm really happy to see other environmental champions on here. I think we're going to be a formidable group in the New Hampshire House. Clean water is my priority right now. Tomorrow will be another one, but I strongly believe in holding polluters accountable and limiting industrial demands that keep our land in threat of being rendered completely useless for centuries to come. And I think that it's our obligation as legislators to protect the health and the economic safety of residents and of cities and towns that have to remediate environmental toxins, and it all comes back to the taxpayer. And promoting renewables and reducing carbon are things that are very much on my mind as well. So I'm sneaking in a couple of things besides clean water that I think are really related to clean water, and it's essential that we make sure that people in New Hampshire know that our Democratic legislature considers water, clean water, a human right. Thank you again for the support of all of our legislative efforts. It is wonderful having you out there, and it is wonderful that you have confidence in us. We are sentinels of the environment. I didn't make that up. I've heard this about loons, but it's true about all of us, because environmental quality, you can see it. You can see it in the people, you can see it in animals, you can see it in the land, and you can see it in every living organism in New Hampshire. So we want to have that quality come up. So let's continue. Thank you so much again.
Thank you. Catherine Sofidis, I'm sorry about the last name.
She is not here.
Yeah, I didn't.
Okay.
Matthew McLaughlin?
Oh, he's a Senate candidate. We heard.
Okay, sorry. Yep, we already heard. Linda Harriet.
I am here. Thank you. Thank you, Sierra Club, for the endorsement and opportunity to be present with each of you this morning. My name is Linda Harriet Gathright, and I represent Nashua Hills 10, Ward 9. I'm currently in my third term and serve as ranking member for Criminal Justice Public Safety. I am a 42-year resident of Nashua, mother of 5, grandmother of 12, and a great-granddaughter. Most communities depend on organizations like Sierra Club, the Legal Conservation Voters, to keep us abreast of our voting records, as well as new construction of asphalt plants and operations in communities where people live and go to school. I believe stricter testing and enforcement of air quality standards at all levels and improved air standards that address all toxic contaminants, including fugitive emissions. We're in a time now when our water does not appear to be safe, discoloration, our air is more polluted, and no, you do not have to live in the city. The medical field confirms the increase in children in New Hampshire having respiratory issues, suffering with voice and breathing issues. I believe in Be Safe's 4 principles. 1, heed early warning signs. 2, put safety first, exercise democracy by improving state and federal laws. 4, choose the safest solution. Because of our families, friends, and constituents, we're all in this fight for the right reason to support safe water and a safe and healthy environment, as well as clean air. Thank you again for the opportunity to be with you this morning and the endorsement.
Thank you. Will Darby.
Actually, Jessica Grill is next.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So nice to be here with you all, and thank you for your endorsement. I'm so excited to work with all of the climate champions and environmental enthusiasts that we have here. My name's Jess Grill. I'm running for my first term in the State House for Hillsborough District 18 or Manchester Ward 12. There's so many things that I'm passionate about when it comes to the environment. Like many of you, I grew up in New Hampshire. I'm a lifelong skier. I spent my summers on Squam Lake, and I still spend a good deal of time up there in the summer and fall enjoying the gorgeous water and wildlife we have up there. But I'd say my top legislative priority for this upcoming session is, decrease our dependence on fossil fuels, invest more in sustainable technology, and how we can produce more energy here at home through solar, wind, and geothermal, and also provide incentives to consumers and businesses who are shifting from fossil fuels to the use of renewables. I think there's a lot of unnecessary roadblocks and restrictions that can get in the way to standing up that technology, and I'm hoping that we can work together to make some progress in that area. Thank you.
Thank you. Heidi Hammer.
I believe Daniel Vayu.
Yep.
It's not.
Hi. Good morning, everyone. Thank you to everyone at the Sierra Club for your endorsement and for hosting this event, as well as everything else that you guys do. My name is Representative Dan Vayu. I currently represent the town of Amherst, and I'm running for re-election in Hillsborough 34. Of course, I support restrictions on landfill siting, protecting clean drinking water, wildlife preservation, but given the spike in electric rates recently, that's pretty raw in people's minds right now. I think it's important to promote the diversification of our energy supply by increasing the use of renewables. As a member of the House Transportation Committee, I have worked and supported the use of electric vehicles and the testing of electric school buses in the pilot program that did not make it past the House floor last year, but we'll try to get that moving forward again in the future. On a local level, I work with our local landfill district, and I've been working with them and our Amherst DPW to begin a composting pilot program that will divert food waste from our waste stream, keep it out of the landfills to begin with, so we don't need as many landfills or as much capacity. But the food waste will be used to generate electricity through the production of methane that would normally be vented through in landfills or flared off or used for other reasons, other purposes. There's so much we can do, and we could talk for a long, long time about all the things that we can do as part of the legislature. And I think it's always a priority to promote our environment and to protect our resources, especially here in New Hampshire, where it is one of our biggest resources, economically and environmentally. So again, thank you so much for your endorsement, and it's truly an honor.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure I saw Mary Heath here. Okay, Jacqueline Christian. I did see.
Yep, that's me.
Yeah, thank you.
Hi, so good morning, everyone. It's so great to be here, as everyone said. So my name is Jackie Cretion. I'm running for my third term as state rep in Hillsborough District 41, which is one of the floterial districts in Manchester, covering the city center now. So as others have said, it's really challenging to pick a single legislative priority. So I'm going to cheat a little bit and mention a couple. One thing I'm looking forward to making progress on is establishing a PFAS response fund so that we can streamline PFAS testing and monitoring. So that's one of the recommendations that came out of the PFAS study committee that just wrapped up last week. And another priority that I'm really hoping we can address on my committee, ST&E, is to improve the funding mechanisms for New Hampshire Saves, so we can put more resources into energy efficiency, as well as, updating our energy portfolio to include more renewables and meet carbon emissions goals. And finally, I'm also really hoping we can do some work on reducing automotive emissions. So in Manchester, we're kind of bounded by highways on all sides. So that's definitely an environmental justice issue that hits particularly close to home for me. So yeah, thank you so much for the endorsement. It's really an honor, and I look forward to continuing to work closely with you all on all these important issues.
Thank you very much. I don't think I saw Amhi Tohan.
We have Maria Perez.
Okay.
Representative Perez, I should say.
Okay.
She's here.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maria Perez. I'm a state representative, first turn for District 43 in Milford. It is my honor to be here and to be endorsed by Sierra Club. I'm really grateful to be, I work with Sierra Club right at the beginning when I got endorsed, when I got elected. We work in an Inclusion Outdoor Act, which is I'm grateful because when we talk about climate justice and when we talk about any of the issues that water contamination, anything like that, I always put human rights in front of everything that I do. If we want to work in any environmental issues. I believe, bringing the human rights always is going to help us to realize, and everything has an interconnection. And one of the things that I'm grateful that I've been working with Catherine is that like we find a ways to find the interconnections with all the work that we do. I like I say, I support that Inclusion Act, and I work with the HB 177, which didn't pass. I've been supporting HB 1454, and I'm looking forward to continue working with Sierra Club. And like I say, we always have to find that interconnection with all that the work we do with Sierra Club. And thank you so much for endorsement, and I'm looking forward to continue working with you guys.
Thank you very, very much. Rebecca McWilliam.
Yeah, I believe she's here.
Elizabeth Greenberg.
Oh, wait, Rebecca is here.
Rebecca is here. Okay.
Yes.
I want to say thank you so much to the Sierra Club for the endorsement, and I am thrilled to be here with all of you climate champions so we can make a difference together. My name is Rebecca McWilliams. I'm a representative from Merrimack 30, South Concord, and I am running for my third term in the House. I serve on the Science, Technology, and Energy Committee, so we are working hard on at least our side of the aisle, but we're working hard to find bipartisan partners to make a difference, specifically with increasing net metering so that we can have more renewable energy across the state. Also, so that we can focus on switching funding from the coal plant in Bow, Merrimack Station, to some of these renewable projects that are just waiting in the pipeline to get through. So there's opportunity, and I'm looking forward to working with you. And I did mention in the chat, I would love to have a co-sponsor session. So let's get the work done and take care, everybody. Let's do it.
Thank you. Great idea. Thank you, Rebecca.
And actually, we missed Jeff Dickler in Cheshire County.
Okay.
Candidate Dickler, can you join us?
Yeah, I am here.
Great.
Thank you very, very much for the endorsement. I'm a first timer. As you know, and you can see in the back here, my campaign is about the common good, and there couldn't be anything more relevant than climate action. I've been a champion of renewable energy going back 30 years. And when I moved into my new house, or not new house, new to me, 5 years ago, the very first thing we did was put in solar immediately. It was a dream of mine to do that, and I'm pleased to say I fulfilled it. I serve on the Energy Commission here in Bright Red Range, and I'm running for the state for the House of Representatives in Ringe, Jaffrey, and Dublin, and out there pounding the pavement almost every day, talking to people. And we talk about climate action, and I've got the big LCV sign in front of my house. And, I could go on about this forever. But down here in Ringe, we have we are the headwaters of two of the bigger river systems here, the Kentucket and the Millers, and we have no running water. The rivers we take water out of, we are a source, and so protecting our wetlands and it is a tremendous high priority here. Anyway, thank you again for your endorsement, and I'm going to cut myself off before I get too much on my soapbox. Thank you very much, and I look forward to being able to work with all you wonderful people in Concord. Thank you again.
Thank you. Elizabeth Greenberg. Not sure I saw her. Okay. Craig Cunningham. I know I saw Bonnie Wright. thought I did.
Hi, my name is Bonnie Wright, she, her. I'm running for the New Hampshire House to represent Rockingham 25 Salem, which is the second largest at-large representative district in the country and what must be one of, if not the toughest state rep districts in New Hampshire. This is my fourth time running, fourth time being endorsed by New Hampshire Sierra Club, so I really appreciate them. With the help from Sierra Club, I'm hoping to win one of the 9 seats that Salem elects. I believe in the 7th generation principle taught by Native Americans. With every decision, we must consider how it will affect our descendants 7 generations into the future. I believe this applies to every decision we make, but especially to our environment. I look forward again to working with members of New Hampshire Sierra Club as we work to make our world a better place for our grandchildren's grandchildren. I am Bonnie Wright, Bonnie for Salem, and I am honored to have this endorsement from New Hampshire Sierra Club. Again, I thank you very much.
Thank you, Bonnie. We have Neil Mercer.
Hello, everybody. My name's Neil Misra. I'm running for state representative in Salem, Rockingham District 25. My top legislative priority is increasing our renewable energy targets. New Hampshire can and should be a leader in renewable energy, and we need to make the transition now urgently in order to secure a clean energy future. Thank you very much for your endorsement. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Neil. David Muse. Not sure. Pamela Hubbard.
I believe Pamela is disguised as Dan Hubbard.
Yes, I'm in my disguise right now as we speak. It's worked for 76 years, so this is due to the fact that my husband does all the computer things here. My name is Pam Hubbard. I am running out of District 2, which consists of the Ward 5 in the city of Rochester and the town of Milton, New Hampshire. I think it would be fair to say that this might be an example of gerrymandering. I have served 3 terms in the state legislature, and on all 3 terms, I served on the Resources, Recreation, and Development Committee. And while there are so many environmental issues that need our attention, I think that clean water for me is the champion. Not only are we gifted with these lakes and rivers and streams, and they are good for our health, both mental and physical, they are also good for our economy. And they are one of the engines that drive the New Hampshire economy, because New Hampshire depends on tourists. And tourists like to come where the water is clean and pure and there are things to do. And I firmly believe that it is our duty and our responsibility to take care of the environment for other generations to come long after we are gone. And I take that very seriously. I thank you very much for your endorsement. My husband and I have been members of Sierra Club for a long time, and I appreciate all the work that you do. And it's been a pleasure talking to you, and let us hope that we do very well on November the 8th. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Matthew Town. Lauren Seelig.
Hi, good morning. This is Lauren Selig. My pronouns are she, her, and I am running for my first term for Stratford County District 10, representing Durham, New Hampshire. My environmental legislative priority is going to be mitigating climate change through a just and equitable transition to clean energy. And I also want to just thank the Sierra Club for the endorsement. And I want to remind everyone not just to make a plan to vote, but invite 3 friends to join you.
Thank you very much. Jackie Silly.
Good morning. I really hadn't planned to speak, but I'll jump in with a couple of thoughts. Thank you to the Sierra Club for your endorsement. It means a great deal to me. Jackie Silly, pronouns she and her, have served in the New Hampshire Senate, 2 terms in the New Hampshire Senate previously and 3 terms in the House. I'm back because of gerrymandered districting. I'm running for Stratford 18, which is Barrington, Stratford, Middleton, and New Durham. As Pam said, you know, a slightly gerrymandered district. One of the things that I appreciate most about the Sierra Club is the fact that you recognize the intersectionality of economic justice, racial justice, social justice, and environmental justice. And those are the things that I'd like to focus on as we move forward. I've used, for example, in my door knocking, the discussion of our electric rates, which are far higher than our neighboring states. And part of the reason for that is our neighboring states have adopted a diversified portfolio that includes energy efficiency programs as well as alternative energy programs. And unfortunately, those have been either eliminated or vetoed or killed in the legislature over the last couple of years. And so I'd like to see a lot of that legislation, great legislation by Democrats, brought back. And I'll be fighting for that if I am so honored as to have received the vote of the majority in Stratford County District 18. And with that, have a great day.
Thank you. Is there anyone else I missed or hasn't got a chance to speak or would like to speak?
So I'm Will Darby. I wasn't going to speak, but I prepared something when you said my name. So I'm running for state rep in Nashua Ward 8, Hillsborough District 11. I thank the Sierra Club for their endorsement, my first run for state office. I'm an outdoorsman and the environment is the primary reason I'm running. My top environmental legislative concern is diversifying the energy supply to significantly increase the contribution of renewable energy in New Hampshire's electricity generation to help reduce costs, specifically small-scale solar. Thanks for the opportunity to speak today.
Thank you very much. Anyone else that I missed or would like to speak? Hasn't. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys so much, everyone, for joining us. And I've jotted down a lot of the priorities I heard you say. And of course, you know, we just named 3 of them, you know, in this for, you know, to make it more concise, but we have a lot of the issues that you discussed, we care about too. That's New Hampshire Sierra Club. So thank you for all of your assistance. And I do, I know Laura is going to talk and Jim's going to talk about some more issues, you know, some more next steps, I guess you'll call it. And so I'm going to hand it over to Jim, who's going to take questions from the media.
Yes, and I'm not sure who we have present in the way of media, but if there are questions from the media, now is the time to speak up or, to borrow a phrase, forever hold your peace.
I did not get any questions here. Thank you, Jim. We will be sending out a press release with the quotes that you provided and your contact information if you approved. So with any luck, you will get a direct call from your local news outlets. Thank you so much. And thank you, Jim.
Well, and I'll add that generally, Kathy is quite correct. The press release with the information does generate attention. And if you need any help in dealing with those, please feel free to let Kathy, me, Laura, or the 2 Karens know. We'll be glad to provide some additional assistance.
Thank
and
you,
now I think I turn it over to Laura for wrap up.
Well, thank everyone again for coming. I was so moved by your statements about your priorities. It keeps me motivated to do this work with the Sierra Club. John Lewis said, if not us, then who? If not now, when? The time has come for these candidates and New Hampshire voters to address the environmental priorities of the state of New Hampshire. We will host a legislative meet and greet in the near future, after the upcoming election, and you will get a notice and invitation to attend the week after the election. Thank you all again and have a good day.
Well,
If people
having
want to
said
unmute
that,
and say
Thank
thank you.
thank
Bye.
you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
you.
Get out there and work hard. These elections matter. They seem to matter more and more every year. That's a topic for books that are going to be written by people other than me, but every step, every foot soldier, every phone call, every message, every outreach is absolutely critical to protecting the environment.
Have a
So, go.
Amen. Thanks.
Thanks.
I'm sorry, I was trying to get disconnected and I got stuck.
Thank you, Maria. I'm so glad you could come.
Oh, thank you. I'm running because I want to be in Nashville for the visibility.
Understood. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. I'm going to stop